And correct this one camera here. Oh, we should be okay. Hello, everyone. Greetings this wonderful, warm Tuesday afternoon. Forgive me for all the noise in the background. There is a lot going on here with fans because it has been absolutely crazy here in Southern California. Not only have we received unprecedented high temperatures, we had an earthquake yesterday. It's been crazy. Hello, NAB Visual Design, who, by the way, his proper name is Nicholas. Nicholas is a concept artist who does a lot with me, from the Bisimoto Model 3 to the Tesla Plaid that we put together here in the shop, to one of our Porsches that he's been a very good advocate of, to the slammed Kona. He has been a wonderful concept artist that has allowed us to do some wonderful, wonderful things in here, which is great. Maddie Clark says, yo, thought man missed Tech Tuesday. No, I was having a hard problem with one of my devices here. I was trying to set up my podcasting, and it was doing kind of weird things. I do have a podcast set up with Tech Tuesday, and it's not allowing me to add podcasts, which is pretty interesting. So even now I'm trying to send me to upload, it's doing weird stuff. It won't let me add live, so that was kind of annoying. It's your boy, Louis Q. Good seeing you, brother. Thank you so much for joining. Saying, what's up, brother? I am well. What's up, says King Ram Singh. Hello, thank you so much for joining. And speaking of joining, I have so many of you here. I have all of you on IG, you on YouTube Live, and you on TikTok. So thank you so much for joining this Bisimoto Tech2sday. It looks like the TikTok guys are in full force, hundreds of people there, which is great. So thank you so much for that. Unlike here on IG, which is sad. BC, can I get some wheels you're not using? Says Undefeated 571. You can't quite see, but up there's a mezzanine. I have a lot of wheels. Let me know what bolt pattern you have. I'll let you know what we can do to exchange hands here. Looks crazy behind you, says Jasper. Yes, I have a 930 here that's getting the electric treatment. I have what is known as Kalani back there, a Neo back there. I don't know what else you can see. Oh, there's a 336 Porsche right there that's fully done. There's a 72 Porsche 911 there that's going to be done. Further down is my CRZ back there. Before that, I don't think you can see anything else after the blue Porsche, you know? Were you featured on Netflix Fastest Car, says Little John Garage from TikTok? Yes, I am. Life of Leandro says, how's your day going so far? So far, so good. Forgive the background noise, team. It's just been really hot here. So I have a Honeywell fan going here, swamp cooler. My team has another fan back there for the dyno that we're using as well. It's been crazy hot in SoCal. Plus, we had an earthquake, you know, in the mid digits, 5 or so. It was a little bit south Pasadena, and then we are here in Ontario, which is a good 40 minute drive from Pasadena, more east, so we felt it quite nice in here as well. It was about midday. Alexander Soto, hello Alex from Sheepy, very talented builder and designer. Good seeing you. Thanks so much for joining me on TikTok, and hopefully things are going well with you. Rich and Willing says, I'll be coming out to LA soon to get it running again. Got to do dinner when I get out there. Sounds good. Rich and Willing, let me know. Can't wait to see more of your cars, says Oscar. Let me say your name properly. Oscar Escoraza 512 on TikTok. Now, Oscar, you'll be pleased to know that we're building some sick cars for this year's SEMA. We have 4 of them going. There's one back there which you can't quite see from camera stage. There's another lift that you can't quite see. There's a couple more in paint right now. It's going to be amazing. So that being said, the Bisimoto stable will continue to grow, and we'll continue to put out some cool things where we merge the beauty of classic cars and modern technology. Mike Stevens from YouTube says, haven't seen you on here for a while. What kind of beautiful projects you have going on? Just shared with you. You can see some of them here. There's a 930 here that's being electrified with 640 horsepower or so. There's a 1300 horsepower Neo that's going on there. There's a vehicle known as a Kalani, which is being done with a 300 horsepower setup. There's a 912 right there that's known with 600 horsepower too. What else can you see? Oh, you can see the Boxer that's next to that. I didn't quite decide what to do with that, you know? Buy your first set of crazy headers. Can't wait to see more of your cars, says Fast Grocery Getter. Thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words out here on TikTok or TikTok. Epic Rider 72, my good friend Ken Lopez, great guy, came to me as a Honda enthusiast with his I believe it was a CB7 Accord, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it was something newer than the CB7. And had a lot of fun with that. Then he graduated to some more fun stuff, got to the CB world. He worked for Kia. I don't know if he's still there, having some good things. And he's just a great, good guy altogether. Porsche pilot as well, owns a Porsche. So he's been to a few of the Porsche events in Southern California. I love him very much. Ken, it's so good to see you. And let's get together soon and make some things happen. All right. Anders Bill H says, how are you, BC? I'm doing well. And thank you for being so awesome. You're too kind. I am nothing without my team. All these great projects that happen at Bisimoto happen because of the illustrious team I have here on site. And no man is an island, and I couldn't be successful without them, so I thank them all indeed. Good evening, says Flo Topper from Germany, all across the pond, as I'm surrounded by German cars. Any plans for coming to some car meets in Germany? Yes. I plan on doing something maybe right before SEMA or after. So I would definitely make it known, you know? Oh my God, it's Mr. Odyssey, says Sleepy Rick. Thank you so much for the kind words. It's a Turbo Odyssey. It's not here. That's at home. I just take the kids to school, which is pretty cool. Hybrid stuff, says Mike Stevens. Yep, got some hybrids here. Dave Roy says howdy on YouTube. Howdy to you as well. Freaky11 says it's a Porsche in the back. Yes, it's a Porsche here, Porsche there, Porsche there. More Porsches around. We tend to love our German Porsche cars, don't we, you know? Maddie Cobbs from Instagram says, I've got a lot of questions, so man, I'll try to bombard you, but that's why I'm here. I'm really here on this Tech Tuesday to share all of my insights, everything I know. I mean it. Any questions you may have about the projects I have in-house, what we're doing, what I've done in the past, whether it's on internal combustion, hybrids, or EV, let me know. I am here to make it happen. What's your opinion on all-wheel drive Hondas nowadays, says VTEC V? I think they're ridiculous. Now, you know what's weird? I saw everything from the mid to late 90s where Hondas were like barely cracking 12s. And that was like Archie Madrano's CRX with the yellow bumper, red CRX with the yellow bumper was the fastest thing at Trauma Island. I was running like 12.6s and we thought that was like running 7s now. Fast forward to today, all-wheel drive Civics, tons of them are running 7s, which is pretty ridiculous, right? Giving us lots of props in the Honda world, especially when we look at, you know, drag racing as a whole, where it's just dominated by V8. I think it's amazing. Technology has come so far. People don't tend to break down like they used to. It's just been great, reliable opportunity and fun. I love it. If it's going fast, I'm all about it, you know? I love German cars. Got a B7 RS4. Nice. I like RS4s. Good job. Hopefully that's a lot of fun for you. It looks really good. Addiction Tuning, giving us some great love here. Appreciate that. What is the latest build? I would say the latest build that's come to the city probably is that Kalani. Latest build that left our shop here was a 935. That's a that's our own internal project, you know? Matty Cobb says, so we didn't get the J Series engines here in the UK. That is sad because that's a very, very good engine. I'm trying to convince a friend to let's do a J Series. Is it feasible? Absolutely. Not only is it very feasible, it can fit in almost anything a K can fit in, almost. You can put it in front of Civics. People put them in NSXs. People put them in sand rails. We see a lot of those here in the United States. The engines are dirt cheap because they came in so many applications. They came in Accords, they came in Odysseys. They're quite ubiquitous here. So I've seen them go for as low as $300. And the K, when you're looking at a J35 or even a J30, they are potent. The bigger displacement ones can make a lot of power. We've done north of 400 horsepower and similar amount of torque on turbo applications. On a factory engine, you reinforce the sleeves, pistons, and rods. With little headwork and camshafts, you can do 1,000 horsepower without qualms. That's what we've done on the Odyssey. It's a great, on an S2000, that can be done. Piece of cake. And great thing about that is you can use a Dr. plate and keep the original gearbox. Or you can go crazy and use a Nissan gearbox if you sort of climb, like one of the 370Z, which seems to be quite robust. But if you still, because the S2000 gearbox with this AP1 and AP2, those gearboxes, sometimes people joke that they're made of glass, so they're not super robust. We've seen a lot of, S2000 enthusiasts use a G37 or 370Z gearbox, which is quite potent, and put into the S2000 with slight modifications to the tunnel. So yes, it's very feasible, and the gearbox turns the same direction clockwise as the engine. Unlike putting a B series, which has to do some clever stuff, a K, a J series, those are clockwise turning engines, and those work quite well. So appreciate the kind words, let me know how it turns out, and that would be great. 5x5 Chevy lug pattern is what As This Bird Gang Idiot has. I don't have any of those. Most of the wheels I have here are 5x130 because of Porsche, 5x125, not even that. I think I have a couple of 5x120s because we have the Odyssey. I think I have a 5x114.3s, and still a few sets of the 4x100s because of the Honda front-wheel drive stuff. So yeah, unfortunately no. Do you do anything with 4th Gen Mazda 3s? No, unfortunately I do not. I've done some flash opportunities with them, but that's about it. But nothing in terms of building them fully. I've not had the honor and opportunity to do that, you know? Can you tell me more about that 930, says Jed Jasper? I will. This is where a good friend of mine, Ralph, he sent it here completely running. I think on the dyno, it made close to 300 horsepower to the wheels as a running 930 with a 4-speed gearbox. We took out the entire assembly, gearbox and all, and it was parted with, and that money from the sale was applied towards the conversion. This is now getting a full 3-phase electric 400-volt system setup, and this setup is going to make 640 horsepower, almost finished. Should have the opportunity to fast charge, which is set up in the rear kind of decorative area. So everything looks factory. Look inside, the gauges, the shifter, everything looks stock. Nothing gives it away. The only slight giveaway inside that shows that something is up is it has a factory shifter, but 2 pedals. So that's kind of a little giveaway. In the back, when you look at where the heat exchanger and intercooler was, we now have a CSF heat exchanger there, which looks just like an intercooler. So to the untrained eye, it looks like a factory 930. The batteries, as you can see, is very low profile at the front and also low in the rear, so the handling is absolutely amazing. It was updated with some KW Club Sport suspension as well, and some 935 swing plates. So this thing is going to handle and be faster than any 930 that you may come across out there on the road, which is amazing, and be 0 emissions. So 50 state legal, no emissions whatsoever, over 700 pound-foot of torque. It's going to be a tire shredder. This is going to be so much fun. And unlike most EVs that quiet, this has a nice kind of, we have a nice supercharger style whine to it. It's going to be fast, clean, and just ridiculous. And you can fully charge from 0 to 100% in about 32 minutes with the fast charging setup that we have on the road. So the J1772 port is the gas port where you put the gas in. As you flip down the plate, you have the fast charging port in the rear for charging. It's pretty cool, you know? JNJX Vintage said, please have a print shop. If you need any cool stickers, maybe you can help. Keep up the awesomeness. Thank you so much. Send me your details through DM. I'm always looking for people who can help out, and especially if you're local. So thanks for the kind words and the assistance. That's how we do it, says Epic Rider 72. Appreciate you, dude. It was a little quake, says 510 Scary. Yes, it was, but one indeed. And that always makes us pucker, you know, because we typically have a lot of cars on the list. And then I have, you know, some stuff at home. It gets kind of scary somehow. Just thinking about me coming from West Africa, never experiencing any kind of shape whatsoever, to now, the ground moving. It's really weird. It's really weird. Growing up with no such thing and coming to a country where it's, or part of the country where it's almost an annual thing. It's kind of crazy, you know? What was your compression ratio on your CRZ L15 build, turbo build? 9 to 1? Yes, it was 9.1 to 1. I used Trump pistons in that, so 9.1 is still there. Still have it here. The 930, electrical on the front wheels, combustion on the rear wheels? No, it's full electric, 100% electric, no hybridization whatsoever. Where's the inside of CRX, and will they make a comeback? The inside is actually, you can't quite see it, but there's some doors behind there. You can see that right there, so the showroom over there. The CRX I did sell to one of my friends who promised to bring it back. It's now clad with a B series. I know, blasphemy. But it's supposed to be out years ago and still waiting for it to come out. Inside, I'm hoping to have it next year. I want to run a track with some really cool all-motor setup. It's going to stay all-motor, well, you know? What do you think about a 992.2 GTS? I think it's sick, Mike. I look, Porsche is, as a brand, they're out of control. It's one of the few brands, maybe the only brand that other manufacturers, designers, and heads of corporate own. So you could be at Lamborghini, a head of Lamborghini, you could be a Stellantis, head of Stellantis, and you own a Porsche. You could be head of Acura and you own a Porsche. It's just a thing. So yeah, I think it's an amazing vehicle. The GTS, sick, 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 sick. I love the panache, love the opportunities in terms of still keeping the ethos of the standard 911, but faster than ever. It's just absolutely fantastic, you know? What's your opinion on using oil pressure readings for choosing proper oil viscosity? It can be done successfully. I tend to go the other way, and I use my bearing clearances to determine what oil to use. But yes, let's say that you have an engine that you built together. Let's use any given Honda, D series, B series, H series, F series, J series, and you are in the teens, let's say mid to upper teens in terms of bearing gap clearances. And being in the teens, you can say, okay, if I'm turbocharged, I can probably get away with some Purell 5W30. And let's say you throw the Purell 5W30 in there, you look at oil pressure, and at operating temperature, you are close to, let's say, 20 PSI. That would give me kind of cause like, oh, maybe I need a little bit more at idle, all things being equal, that I have a proper healthy engine. And I might go to a 1040, which will bump it up to like about 27 idle, which I'll be more comfortable with. So, yes, it is something that I have done in the past when I was in question on my clearances, but using clearances is typically the way I go. So I hope that helps. Gadget Bros, thank you so much. It's awesome, says Mike Stevens. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate you indeed. Any secret tuning tips, says George Hamas 585. For an H23, H22A with forged internals in a built-in jet prelude. Any secret tuning tips? Secret. I would say, oh, there's a good one. There's a good one. NA, right? Individual cylinder tuning. I mean it. That's one. Secondly is indexing your plugs. And what do I mean by indexing your plugs? Especially with natural aspiration, every horsepower counts. And I noticed that if you have a spark plug, let's say, I don't know what, if I just use my arm on a spark plug, and you have that center electrode, so that electrode could inhibit kernel formation and prevent some power from happening from combustion. So what you can do is be able to index your plugs, and how I do that, I tend to mark the tool that I use a marker for putting in my spark plug. I mark where the prong is, and then these indexing washers allow you, like copper, to crush and kind of keep it tight. If you go across the cylinder, meaning if your intake and exhaust valves are this way and you have your prong go across that, you have a better kernel surface to form and allow for better clean burn. You pick up a couple horses from doing that, so that's one. But if you want even more horsepower, individual cylinder tuning is God. If you look at my insight that I spoke about earlier on, I have individual O2 bungs on each header. And AEM has these, and if you don't find them, I have some more in stock. AEM has these standoff, how should I say, O2 bungs that have ridges on them so they can help dissipate heat. But it's high enough to whereby your O2 sensor doesn't protrude into the piping of your header to hold power. It just allows the bare tip of the sensor to be able to get a reading. If you run a dyno either with multiple runs or the same run and you have like a 4-channel Uego data logger, if you get your fuel ratios to be the same in each cylinder, you will pick up, I'm not exaggerating here, even a standard B series stock road race car, 7 to 8 wheel horsepower in optimizing each cylinder. Because what you see in your tailpipe is aggregate, an average of all the cylinders coming in. So you may have a rich cylinder, lean cylinder. So what you're reading and what you're tuning for is your aggregate, your average. So you can have a cylinder that's really lean, cylinder that's really, let's say that's one that's 14 to 1, and you have another cylinder that's a 13 to 1, but you're seeing 13.5 in your tailpipe. You're like, oh, I'm there, and you can try to add more fuel and optimize and get you a very nice power curve and torque curve. But then the cylinder that's richer is now richer, and the one that's leaner may be a little bit better. But if you lean that richer cylinder out, you pick up even more power. So that's a little secret that I'm surprised a lot more all-motor people don't pay attention to. It does wonderful even with turbocharger systems, but I'm telling you, on a full drag car, all-motor pro stock, you can pick up to 20 horsepower. On a stock motor, B series, you can see 7 to 8 wheel, because it's just amazing. I can't even stress how amazing it is. I know it's a little bit of work, but it helps a ton. Gabe Horn wants me to shout him out. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you indeed for doing that. If I were to lower, says Dave Boyer from YouTube, my compression ratio on my L15A from 10 to 1 to 9 to 1, what ring gap is correct? And should I file the comp rings too, the compression rings too. So, yes, by all means, there is a procedure to be able to gap your rings depending on how much heat you put in. By the way, our engines are nothing but energy converters. So when you're making more power, you're just taking chemical energy, converting it to heat energy, and converting that to mechanical energy. And the more controllable heat energy you create, the more mechanical power that you have. So that being said, we have more heat in your combustion chamber, which goes to rings. Your rings tend to expand, and what you don't want to happen if your ring gaps are not far enough is to butt and scar your entire cylinder and create a lot of problems in the engine. Where your engine previously expires, you don't seal, it smokes, it's rubbish. So there are gaps. On an L15, you can go as wide as, based on my experimentation, you can go as wide as 0.015 inches on the compression. I tend to open the second one at like one or two more, so 0.017, 0.016, so that gets to escape. And oil rings, I use the same factory gaps I recommend. So that should help. Going any tighter, depending on how much power you plan on making, because I was looking at 400 horsepower on some of my L15s, 500 in some occasions. And if you go bigger and bigger to like the bores, the bigger the gap gets, because of course you have more surface area and that expansion can occur even more. And I love all the Honda questions, guys. That was mine, for those of you who don't know me that well. That's kind of where I hold my teeth, was in Honda performance. And it's just been a wonderful journey the entire time. Let's see here. Are you open to any volunteers in the shop? I'm in the area who would like to love to help around, says Jess Jasper. Hit me up close to SEMA. I definitely do that and would love some assistance. What's up, Ashton Campbell, brother? Hopefully you're doing well and having some fun out there. That's really, really good. Let's see here. Oh, there's something I want to show you guys, which is pretty cool. So I found something as I was tidying up my office. And I didn't even knock the dust off of this, because it's really old school. I don't know if many of you know what this is. Do any of you know what this is exactly? Kind of moves around a little bit. Has a little movement. See that? Moves around. Missing a couple bolts, but that was by design. Do any of you know what this is? This is an adjustable cam gear. And this is not just any adjustable cam gear. This is for D series. And this is from as far back as the mid-90s. This is the first cam gear made by AEM, Advanced Engine Management. The founder, John Conciali, and my mentor prior to his passing, actually made this for me. And it's not even hard anodized. You can even see some of the grooves and indentations from my factory Honda belt on my D series. And by seeing some of these depressions here, it actually gave John the idea to hard anodize these. Because years ago, even before this was manufactured, we had a company like JG that was out in Alhambra, and they'll take a factory cam gear and cut it open and kind of weld like little plates on it, kind of move it around. But John wanted something that was more lightweight and allow for more adjustability and which actually apart. So he designed this on aluminum and had a CNC machined, the very first one. I wanted something that was pretty lightweight, so there's machining there. And this is one of the earlier, this is the first earlier prototype. And I actually raced with this, I had a lot of fun. You can see some markings I had on it from what I wrote on it. To try and get the ideal power. I think 2 degrees advanced at the cam, 4 degrees crank was my perfect setting on the camshafts, on the level X Bisimoto camshafts I had then. I was able to use this to run 10-second times on my D series, which is pretty great. D series all more. So I just want to give you a little blast from the past. Yeah, I've been around for a while, and this is part of history, and I hope to hold on to this for a very, very long time. Maybe you'll go to the museum one day. John Conciali's first AEM cam gear ever. He had anodized, I had the machine down and made some prototypes and some changes, but kind of set out. And it was cool. It was cool, you know? Leave for my date in an hour, says Gary. Have a great day, sir. Hope it goes very, very well. Do an all-wheel drive Civic, says Mike on the mill, and Mike, my fault. Because through those doors over there is actually my Civic wagon, which is an all-wheel drive Civic. Actually, what I posted on Instagram today as my intro to today's Tech Tuesday. All-wheel drive, sequential gearbox, Civic wagon ED2 from 1990. Yeah, just fun car. So I do have that. Appreciate you too, Maddie Cobbs. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Is the aluminum hard enough? Absolutely. And you know, different types of aluminum. There's 661, 52. There's so many different types of aluminum, but this was hard enough to give us some weight. But if you constantly have a belt embedded on this for hours at a time, for days at a time. Yeah, this aluminum, whatever he chose at the time, wasn't up to par. So doing a hard anodize on it, which I think was a titanium anodize, put that at bay, allowed to give us the lightweight we wanted. And he ended up like putting even openings here, and then have that coating allowed us to use the harness we wanted and lightweight we wanted, and was cost effective for AEM as well. You know. So let's see here. Mancog says also, I know you're in the Cali area. Are there any car events or car shows in the area during autumn and winter? Attempt to set foot. There are, I'm telling you, because SoCal out here, we don't have the challenges in lots of parts of the country or the world where there's snow and adverse weather. It almost rarely snows or rains in Southern California. I had, I think, snow once since I've been here in the kind of SoCal Bay area. It was just sprinkling. It's just beautiful. So there's so many events, especially leading up to SEMA, even pre-SEMA events. There are tons. There's Cosmic Coffee, there's Supercar Sunday, like up towards the Chatsworth area, just absolutely amazing. The local dealership here, Porsche Interior, has events to put together. Porsche Santa Clarita puts up events together. In Orange County, there's so many events at Crystal Cove. It is out of control. Just look on any of the social networks, Instagram in particular, and it's good. Khaled Ahmed is asking, where are you from? As Mike Stevens does a very great comment about it was a game changer back then. Yes, it was. It allowed us to kind of move around our torque curves very nicely. People think Candy just with power. It is just adjust the opening and closing numbers for an intake and exhaust based on temp profiling and moves the power curve around. It's a great power, just kind of shifts it around to what's ideal. You just tend to pick up power in certain areas that you typically didn't see. Anyway, I digress. Originally, I am from Nigeria. Came to the United States to study engineering and ended up staying. So I am Nigerian, I am Igbo, that's my tribe. And if you're in the United States, most Nigerians you meet either be Igbo or Yoruba, but a lot of us are Igbo and we love sciences, we love being doctors, we love being engineers, there are a few lawyers of ours, but we just love the sciences. We just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see here, let's see what other questions came away. Bunta9086 says, wow, what an amazing machine. I would love to see a detailed walkthrough when it's finished. And I promise I will have that for you. This, that, everything in here will have some proper walkarounds indeed. Amir, hello, sir. I gather you are traveling back east from what I heard, but if you still are out there or if you did travel, please have a safe journey. I hope your journey was safe. So thank you so much for joining the Bisimoto Tech2sday. Appreciate you indeed. Okay, good afternoon to you too, R35, R13. Eagle Talon, TSI, I assume you have a nice time. Star says, hello BC, have you been? Long time no talk. Long time no see you as well. Hopefully you are doing great. So thank you so much for joining. D16 swap Porsche when, oh, that would be just, how should I say, blasphemy to a lot of Porsche files. And for the hardcore Honda heads, a little bit of difficulty. And I'll tell you the reason why. Most of the time, you want to retain the Porsche's gearbox. And whether you're looking at the 911, the Boxer Cayman, you know, the 914, the 912, you name it. The 930 even, like the beautiful example that's behind me, that's wrapped in this wonderful rapid paint. The gearboxes are typically retained in swapping engines. So when people put Subaru engines or Honda engines, they tend to retain the factory gearbox. Now the challenge with the D16, whether you look at D16A, D16Z, D16, no matter what D16, ZC single cam, all those engines turn counterclockwise, unlike the original Porsche engine. So unless you do something very clever, like flip it around, which would be just more fabrication than it's worth, you bolt them directly, the engine doesn't turn the right way. Or you do a reverse head engine, it's just different. So you're better off if you're going to stay with a Honda and a Porsche and retain the factory gearbox, you're better off turning to some of the engines that rotate clockwise, like the J series, or the S2000, F20, F22Cs, or the K24s, KC, or just that K line, or the J series even. You can have a lot of fun with that, just from the simple premise that it turns the right way. So hope that helps. Okay, where is the Odyssey? Says Mamahad 79. I just mentioned earlier, it is at my residence. What is the best 911 for daily use with 6-speed manual? GT3 RS. seriously, it is like the GT3 RS, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what generation you look at. The Porsche GT3, even a standard GT3. That GT3 line manual from 996 to date in manual configuration is the most amazing track car that is treated. That's it. Now, you can look at some of the air-cooled. The challenge I have with some of the older air-cooled are the creature comforts are not up to today's standards. With the exception of 993, 964, those kind of get closer to modern standards in terms of creature comforts, air conditioning, and so on and so forth, and it's just manual. But if you want something very modern, the best daily use, 6-speed manual, GT3. I'm telling you, you can't vote. I have goosebumps talking about it. It's just an amazing machine, you know? What is your dream car, says my American got stolen. My camera, actually, my camera got stolen, sorry about that. My dream car, I kind of have two of them. It's something I build, of course. It'll be a very high performance, low or zero emissions Greenwood Corvette, or a 917 with creature comforts. That'd be my dream car. That I would drive that thing like this. I would drive either one of those cars like there's no more. I probably won't drive anything else. Those are my dream cars. If you're talking about something that's commercially available, my dream car is commercially available. I haven't given that much thought. I really haven't. Would it be... Let me get back to you on that, because I'm kind of torn, because I love some of the applications from Koenigsegg. I also love what Porsche has done with the 918. I also like some of the offerings from Rimac. But still, my dream car, ultimate dream car, is something I built myself. All right. What's the compression ratio of CA91 gas? So Jack Potassers is asking a question that could probably take 30 minutes to answer properly, but I'll try and give it a stab and answer it quickly as possible. There is no compression ratio that is affiliated with octane rating. Just can't exist. What's more important, and when you say compression ratio, I really mean static compression ratio, because what really is more of a answer to that is dynamic compression, the actual compression that's seen inside the engine dynamically. Static compression is what you see when you make pistons. It's like the ratio of the swept volume of the cylinder combined or pressed into the combustion chamber. So if you have a swept volume of 9 and compressing into one combustion chamber, that is 9-to-1. So the caveat is you can have two engines that are 12-to-1 compression on 91 octane gas here in California. One would detonate and the other won't. With the same fuel ratio, same fuel, same engine. And what would make one detonate more than the other? Camshafts. You know, same thing we talked about when I talked about the first cam gear AEM ever made? Camshafts. The overlap that occurs. Overlap occurs when both the intake and exhaust valves are open slightly at the same time. And the more that overlap is, which typically happens with much bigger camshafts, the less the dynamic until high RPMs, and you can get away with a lot more static compression. So you can have a small camshaft, a stock GSR with a stock GSR camshaft on 91 octane at 13-to-1, and it's pinging like no tomorrow because it's pre-igniting, meaning the compression alone is allowing the fuel to ignite and is doing some really bad things in the system, whereas allowing the combustion to occur at the wrong time. Meanwhile, you put a bigger cam in there, put a Bisimoto level 3, level X cam in there, and the compression is beautiful. It actually makes more power and doesn't detonate anymore for the same fuel ratio, for the same ignition time. So the dynamic compression, the compression that occurs in the engine based upon the dynamics of the engine, is more important than commercial limit. So if you're trying to find a rule of thumb for 91 octane, it's almost try and error or using the experiences of others. So if I'm building something like a B series and I'm 12-to-1, I tend to put some decent camshafts in there so I do not detonate. If I'm staying with stock cams, I go to a much lower compression ratio, even as low as 10-to-1, 10.5-to-1. So I hope that helps. There's no correlation your camshafts, your dynamic is more important. There's no static set compression ratio for 91 octane, especially in natural aspiration. The War Wagon says 2110 engineering. Yep, that's what it was called. Thank you so much. Cam Gear indeed. Jack Potash. Thank you so much. Bro, where's the Odyssey? I keep getting all these questions. Did you ask me that before? It's at the residence. Hush Performance. Hello, sir. This is a team that's been there for me from day one of my old school EE days. As far back, we go way back, don't we? As far back as 2017, I believe, where you had your first kit on my wagon, and his kit allowed me to run a hydraulic transmission on my cable-based EFEE vehicle, and his stuff has been amazing. So thank you so much, Hush Performance, for being a great contributor and a continuous contributor to our Honda community. Appreciate you indeed. What was your compression on the D15 10.7? I was crazy. That compression was 18.4 to 1 with some huge cams. It was amazing. And that's when I learned how bad Honda was with their Econo boxes. Meaning today, when you look at some of the K series, there's no really little or no core shift in the combustion chamber. I can digitize a piston on a D series, make all the pistons the same with high compression when I'm especially pushing north of 16 to 1, right? And when I assemble the engine, the pistons hit on some cylinders because the combustion chambers are not exact. So I had to like massage each piston by hand to be able to get that 18.4 to 1. And it made a lot of power. It's like diesel compression, but it made a ton of power, you know? Do you use a different oil or oil filter for cars that run E85 as Nightcrawler 85A? I do. I use Purol, which is a very high quality, high zinc motorsports oil, which is compatible with ethanol and methanol. So it doesn't dilute very easily. It's miscible with it. It's not immiscible. It doesn't separate and do all kind of weird things. And oil starts turning milky after one use. No, none of that. Oil filters, no. I use the standard oil filters I tend to use. I've had success with K&N. I've had success with Bosch. I like the K&N stuff. So I use it when I'm running petrol, E85, or methanol. It doesn't matter. But the oils make a difference. Because some oils you run, they just don't protect you. You look at your bearings and they look like spider webbed up because they didn't have a protection. It's just like, it's not aerating very easily. Pure doesn't have that problem. So I use Pure 10W40, and if you haven't, reach out to them, let them know BC sent you. They help you out with sponsorship. Try it out, you'll love it. Great stuff indeed. Don't know the compression ratio, but it comp tested 240 across the board. Yeah, that's really high. And you can lower that dynamic by putting bigger camshafts. That's it. Let's see here. I'm missing so many. Hello guys, I'm so sorry. How are you doing today? Long time no talk. This is Eagle Time TSI. I think it's what I said earlier. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Drag Racing Time, says Gary Sequetam May Sonnet. Thank you so much. I love drag racing. That's why I started. I have 2 sets. 2 sets of what? Tell me. What do you have 2 sets of? Cam gears? Camshafts? Motors? J-Series? I'm sorry I missed you, my good friend Joe. You're an amazing person. And happy belated birthday to your daughter as well. Bad Daddy Baby. Long time fan. Thank you so much for your support. Greetings to you indeed. Appreciate your advocacy indeed. BC Goo says Mick, great motoring. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully you are doing well. Good to you as well. You should write a book about your life's journey. That would be an inspiration for a lot of upcoming car enthusiasts. It says 2110 Engineering. And I agree. The beautiful thing is that my life, my story keeps happening. And it's been great from being raised in Nigeria, experiencing primary school and secondary school there, to traveling to the United States with my dad, for visiting from time to time, to moving here, to studying engineering, to working at Circuit City, to street racing, to starting my career in pharma, to going to pharma research and sales, to opening a Bisimoto, to getting married and having a family, to divorcing and dealing with that, and then to getting into different types of propulsion. It's been a journey and it continues to go because I was a hardcore D-Series small displacement higher RPM freak. Then I got into Porsches, turbocharging and twin turbocharging and turbocharging Hondas as well. Then got into hybridization thanks to American Honda, that's CRZ back there. Then got into now the EV performance world while dealing with life and all these challenges that come with life. So it's been great. So I agree, a great book is there. Hopefully I can do some wonderful things with the team and I. We all can retire and I can write a nice book. I think it'll be quite entertaining. Maybe even a movie or two. Because my life has been really exciting and also very interesting. I mean, you guys won't believe some of the things I've experienced in this country, both professionally and personally. It's just been a very interesting journey indeed, you know? H22A swap of Porsche says blue top performance H22. Yes, so that's what you're talking about. So, did you use a different transmission? Did you use a Honda transmission to turn the engine backwards? What did you do? Please share, Joel, with our creativity. Are you the gentleman who was on the Donut Media video about minivans? Yes, Ezekiel, James Baker. I am. I'm the correct one in the flesh. We had a great time filming that, like Dads and Vans. That was fun indeed. And I made a friend there that continues to be a friend tonight, till today, the one with the domestic van. Do you know what heads work on F23A, like a ported head? Ty, Wayne, or one. If you're talking about what bolts on directly, it has the same bolt pattern as H22A. Has the same bolt pattern as the F22A, which is one of the amazing heads I love like crazy. The challenge is when you do an H23 head or H22 head, the oil returns kind of stick out, so you have to do something really creative with the oil returns and gaskets, but it does bolt on. For the F23A, if I had that bottom end, which is a 2.3 liter, I personally would put on a non-VTEC F22A head, which flows more than the F23 stock, flows more than most B series ported, and we port them, they are amazing. The challenge with the F22A head was the A or A1 or A6 or A4 is that the camshafts are really small from factory, like 200 lift camshafts. But with a proper camshaft, let's say from Bisimoto, or if you want to go really crazy and you do like some kind of extended rockers and run big cams, you can go as big as 600 lift on those without problem. And they are, that's what I broke all my records with on the F series, that F22A. And the F22A with a bigger displacement is a godsend. It's absolutely fantastic. You know? So yeah, you can do that. You can do that indeed. Yeah, the price of my GT3, not to mention the GT is over the roof. Yeah, Porsches is just hot tickets, expensive stuff. Mike G, good seeing you. Thanks for joining. I'm doing well in this cool evening. I love the 918 as well, Mike G. There might be any business benefit at this point, but I want to see back in all-motor drag racing, new tech on the inside. Yes, as you can, but when I come back out, there really isn't, it's not as cool as it was back in the day. I believe not too long ago, they opened up all-motor to like nitromethane, and people started running faster times, but if I had access to nitromethane back then, I don't even want to know what kind of times we were running. Much faster than these kids nowadays. But above and beyond that, if I do come out, which I plan to, with the new technology exactly inside, it'll probably be for exhibition only. Because you remember back in the day with the Insight, even the all-motor class wasn't robust there. I would jump into the turbo class and win, right? I would go to street turbo and win that class too, and then they kind of banned me from that. Sad. So losers. Anyway, you still got the Honda Odyssey, bro? Says Blue019, which seems to be the question of the hour. Yes, I do. And it's at home. I do have it. Love that thing. Don't have that many miles on it, believe it or not. It's still less than 10,000 miles on the odometer. All right, let's see. I just saw yesterday that my kid has this little blue Honda Hot Wheel, and so it says Bisimoto. Yes, the real smoking lit AG. There are 6 Bisimoto Hot Wheels that exist, and the little blue one that he has is probably the Honda City. I've never built any one of those, but Honda and I have a great relationship, and that's what they kind of coined with Mattel to create one of the 6 Bisimoto Hot Wheels. We have a Bisimoto City, 3 Bisimoto Civic Type Rs. There's a Bisimoto NSX. I think it was the newer NC1 NSX, which is amazing. But he had NC1 GV3, right? Pretty dope. And then last but not least, the Odyssey. So 6 Hot Wheels for Bisimoto exist. As an enthusiast and builder, that's the highest accolade I could experience. Every shop owner in the world wants to have a Hot Wheel immortalized in their likeness, and I'm lucky enough to have half a dozen. So I'm very, very happy indeed, you know? Name a car for an edit. I don't know what that means. Porsche 911, they're just naming random cars. Bite some powder on YouTube. Hey, BC, do you still make any big cams for the F20B Honda Accord engine? Absolutely, Kyle, Gary. Send me an email at sales@bisimoto.com and we can make something to your heart's content. No problem whatsoever. Have you ever thought of using Condorcet's free valve technology for a build? Yes, I have. It's only access technology. So for those of you who don't know what a free valve is, That's where you remove all the limitations from a physical camshaft. Because the challenge with a physical camshaft, even with advances of VTEC and MIVEC, and what does Porsche have? That's a weird tool. Anyway, with Porsche and the Vario cam and all that fun stuff, there's nothing that's more amazing than Koenigsegg's free valve, which is very similar to what Dodge, Chrysler, now Stellantis did with some of their earlier small displacement setups. Performance is 2010, even further back than 2017. Anyway, I digress. You're right, probably. Oh, you know what? I think it was even 2009, to be honest with you. 2009. I was thinking about some of the newer things I learned. Okay, so back to the Koenigsegg. This allows pneumatics. It allows pressure and hydraulics to open a valve up, give you infinite amount of camshaft profiles. You can mimic a low lift, small duration, high torque, low RPM camshaft. You can mimic a big duration, small lift to give you a nice top end, big lift, big duration to give you the best of all. You can have an almost infinite amount of torque curves. You could even control idle. You don't even need a throttle body when designed properly. So yes, I've thought about it. I just haven't had access to technology, and maybe a fun build indeed. And nowadays, I have moved a little bit away from internal combustion. So something like that though will bring me full-fledged, but I may use a different fuel than just regular petrol or gasoline. I like to play around with some of the probably synthetic fuels or even hydrogen as a fuel of combustion. Big Elmer, Uncle Elmer, how you doing, sir? I've known Elmer since his earliest days. I think he's still there. Just been a great advocate for Bisimoto. I appreciate you, Elmer, being here. Thank you so much for joining this Bisimoto Tech2sday. If you could only drive one Porsche for the rest of your life, what would you drive? Some of you guys don't know like my answer. But I'm going to tell you one Porsche I had to drive for the rest of my life. It would be the newest version and in a cross-turismo configuration, the Porsche Taycan. Because that thing is faster. It's one of the fastest, if not the fastest Porsche that currently exists. And the cross-turismo is like a wagon, which I love the look of wagons. And I'll have no problem having a zero emissions, fast, turbo trim car. That'll be it. That'll be it for me. Some people may just be upset with me, but I'm telling you, that's what I want. I applaud your perseverance, says Epic Rider 72. Thank you so much, Ken. You've known me for a long time. Ken has known me since my shop in Chino Hills. That was as far back as 2007 that I moved there. Pretty crazy, you know? I recently swapped the 5th gen Prelude with a blue top H23A. Yeah, you know H23As, that engine of yours that you have, Kyle, is potent. Do you know we made 500 wheel horsepower? Big turbo on that setup on 85. And it lasted for months. The customer wanted me to be able to, and he was street racing, making money with it. Then he wanted me to add more boost, and I said no. It was a 72mm turbo on that. It made 500 horsepower. It was absolutely amazing. And he ignored my advice, went to another tuning shop, and they added 2 PSI of boost, and it threw a rod. I knew it, because I watched the knock levels. I knew it was right there. It was perfect. I'm telling you, he did almost a year and a half of street racing with that thing in SoCal, taking money. He even had a $15,000 race, waxing fools, breaking people off, beating 700-800 horsepower front-wheel drive EGs. And the thing that allowed him is that because of the power, he would get out the hole and stay ahead of them while they were spinning out the hole. So it was amazing. Edgar, I don't know how you blew that thing up, but it allows you to build a motor finally, which is good. But yeah, I know what I'm doing. Treehouse Industries, great seeing you as well. And oh yeah, the Resmoke, I just talked about your Hot Wheel. I just talked about that. We have 6 1. I hope your son enjoys it. Wellington is leading the house, courtesy of 83TD. Good seeing you. But no Porsche. I don't understand. I'm surrounded by Porsches. I love Porsches. It's my dream car. I don't know what to say. We need that crazy Bisimoto Porsche. Oh, there's one traveling. The M16 is in Michigan this week with Toyo. So it's getting around there, you know. I remember, says Gaskins Motorsports on TikTok. I remember running your cam in my SoCam Civic about 15 years ago. Car made great power and sounded great. Thank you so much. There's no facility in the world that's put more effort into camshaft development for SoCams than Bisimoto. That's why our profiles are amazing. We have hundreds of camshaft profiles, and we optimize the best for you, whether you're boosted or NA, to make things happen. If you still need it, we still have it available for you. Well, guys, it's been a slice of heaven. It's been almost an hour. It's a pleasure interacting with all of you. It went by quickly. So thank you so much. I will have this up indefinitely. Unfortunately, TikTok doesn't let me keep that on. As I get a nice update to my subscription leaderboard, I got more subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my TikTok, guys. For those of you on Instagram and YouTube who haven't, please do, and vice versa. Please do join my YouTube feed. I tend to put a lot of cool things there as well with the Bisimoto ENG. But nonetheless, thank you so much, guys. I'll leave it up here and definitely on IG, leave it definitely on YouTube. TikTok, you may have to go to my other feeds to see it. But thank you so much. It was a slice of heaven. Look forward to seeing you guys same time next week. In the meantime, stay safe and have a pleasant balance of this lovely week. Stay cool for those in California and stay safe. Bye-bye.